Let me see. I joined CCMC at the age of 30 years old.
I've been coming to CCMC for 28 years.
I was journeying with my ACJC friends and they told me that there was a preaching point. I was very near my house, so I said, why not? And here we are.
I served in CCMC for 7 years, from the year 2000 to 2006. Reverend Dr. 𝐷𝐸 𝐔𝐬 called up a few churches, Wesley Methodist Church, Faith Methodist Church and CCMC, to see if they have an opening for me. It was very late at night, about 9 p.m. And then they asked me a few questions, and at 7 a.m. the next day, Reverend Dr. 𝐸 said that, we're going to take you in. Okay, in the early years, Dr. 𝐸 approached the school, Mrs. Tam, to see whether they can start a preaching point here. So in 1993, he gathered some members from Barker Road, some members from Wesley Methodist Church, and they came together to form a preaching point. And in 1994, that's where the church became a local conference. And that's how the history of the church begins, and that's why we are 30 years old today.
My mom and my dad, one came from Barker, one came from Wesley. And it was just the time that CCMC was starting as a preaching point, so they came together. I grew up from the Joy Room, then into CK, then into one community, OC, the youth ministry, and now I'm part of the young adult community. Growing up in CK was quite fun. We had Sunday school every week. I was always surrounded by my friends, and it was a very fun and joyful time. Maybe not so much for my teachers, but it was a great time for us. And in fact, most of these friends of mine, they have followed me through the years, growing up together through the youth ministry, into young adulthood.
I'm a first-generation Christian, so to me, the faith journey, it's really full of ups and downs. In CCMC, I really found a place that I can learn, I can grow, I can serve. I started my journey serving as a Sunday school teacher, and it has been wonderful seeing all these kids that were this small. Now they are towering over us, the Sunday school teachers, and they are so actively serving, whether it is worship ministry, whether as a life group mentors. It's so heartwarming to walk in and see a church with multi-generations and intergenerations interaction.
I serve mainly in the praise and worship ministry, and actually week to week, serving with the church, worshiping with the church has been something very special. Starting in the youth ministry where I was too scared to even play in front, to now where I'm serving a leadership role as part of the main service worship team, has been a blessing to me, and it brings me a lot of joy to be able to worship with God's people every week. So Growth Group has been really an important pillar of my Christian walk over the years. As I've transitioned from secondary school to JC through uni, and even now starting work, getting married, my Growth Group has really been a pillar of support for me, and we have all supported each other through these transitions of life. It has also been really nice to see new people who join us over the last few years. People who are new to CCMC, joining our Growth Groups and getting to know them, growing alongside them, has been really quite a wonderful journey.
I have a lot of fond memories of this church because really it was the very first time that I actually served as a pastor. I did my MOT, that means as a member on trial, from my being an assistant pastor to an elder. My entire full range was done in one church. So in these 7 years, I have grown to be very close to some of you because the community is authentic. Some of you treated me as a brother, like a son, like nephew, and really it was just a very welcoming community.
At CCMC, there's so much that we share in common. We do life together, we laugh together, we cry together, we mourn the loss of our loved ones, and we give thanks when there are new births in the family. And I give thanks that it's not just a safe space for me, it's also a safe space for my children to grow up.
我们来到 CCMC 呢，是因为有一个朋友邀请我们参与到华文部的新移民的一个活动。
We came here about 30 years ago, sent here by Wesley.
My parents brought me to CK and I've been coming ever since.
바야흐로 2018년도까지 내려가야 되는데요. 2018년도에 목사님이 공감 이벤트라는 걸 진행하셨어요.
第一次来到这边来的时候，华裔崇拜首先给我的感觉就是非常不一样的家的感觉，非常的温馨。
Growth Group was a major change for us as a family. It's been so enriching to learn about God's Word together.
CCMC 가족들은 너무 따뜻하고 가족 같고
Coming here helps me learn more about God, and I really love the community here.
And friendship that we made through the years.
Meaningful and genuine relationships.
充满爱和关怀的地方，好像是一个温暖的大家庭一样。
CCMC is my home.
God's home.
Fighting?
30 is a very significant age. At the age of 30, Jesus began his ministry that would profoundly change the whole world. I pray that as we celebrate our 30th anniversary, CCMC will have a resurgence of love for others and increased ministry and connections with our community and beyond. May we all be filled with the Spirit to reach out in love.